Alright, I've got this wall masked off. I think I have everything I want to mask off. So we'll turn this around, kind of show you the prep I've done. See, I've dropped the ground as close as I could. Sometimes I dig out the ground a little bit, so I have something to push back to the base of the foundation there after I paint it. So you can see I have door masked off. I think I'll be able to spray around this plant without getting anything on it. We will see. It's at the end of its life and they're not too concerned. They told me I could just cut the whole thing down, but I don't think I'll be doing that. So you can see I have the windows masked off. I have drop cloths right up to the foundation on the ground. This side's not ready yet, but usually after I spray a whole wall, I'll have some amount of time, like 15-20 minutes, to get started masking on another wall. So next stage, I'll be setting up my spray rig, and I'll try and include some footage of that. I like to start with just running some water through this spray rig, because every once in a while, even if it's every 20 times, there could be a problem inside the spray rig of a little bit of clogging or something, and it won't get going, and it's a much bigger drag to pull out this whole thing when it's covered in paint. Okay, right now I'm just have it in priming position, and through the priming tube, it's just bubbling down there. So once you see water coming out of that, then the machine is primed. So I'm happy with that. I think I'll stick this thing in paint now, and I know it's going to take it and run it through. There we go. So I'll prime this again with the paint in it. Water left in the line, so I'm fine with that. It's just clean water. Then I'm going to go ahead and run until I start to see a little color here. Okay, starting to see a little color there, and now I'll just run this until I have solid paint coming through. Next thing I'll do is add a shield, a little spray tip shield, and pick a tip. Usually on exteriors I'm going with a pretty broad fan spray pattern of I think this one's at least 10 inches. This is spray tip I'll be using. We'll attach it to the gun. At that point I'll do a little test with this, see if I like the amount of pressure that I have, get a nice solid coat of paint. To see any lines or gaps, you don't have enough pressure. Any lines or gaps in your spray pattern, that is. It should be a solid 10-12 inches while you're away from the wall, so it actually comes out probably more like 12 or 15 inches. Looking great. I like an old thick towel. This happens to be a old bath mat. And soak it in water and cover your spray bucket with it, because otherwise it's just going to dry out on top and it's going to gunk up your machine. Keeps your paint fresh. This wet towel that I put over the spray bucket. Now I am ready. I'm ready to paint. I recommend always using a respirator when you're spraying, because the machine basically atomizes your paint, and it's so fine in the air. It's finer than dust. And you really don't want to be inhaling any of that. The head sock here. The head sock here just keeps it from getting in your hair. So here I am at my job site on this house in Boulder, and this is day 20. I've finished spraying the body of the house, and a couple days ago I began trimming out the house in the white, and so today I thought I'd put a camera up and show some of the trimming. Mosey on over here to my painting equipment. I think this is all I'm gonna need right here. So right now I have my roller and a short extension pole. Don't ever use those pans for rolling out of. What you want is just to get a 5-gallon bucket and drop one of these grids down into it that are $3, $4, $5. They can be used over and over and over again. And this is how you would roll out of your bucket. The nice thing about this is it's not going to dry out, because when you're not using it, you can cover it in a wet rag. I've got a bucket of water here, and so when you're not using it, this is an old bath mat that you may have seen in another part of my video where I just soak this in water, and that keeps your paint fresh, keeps it from drying out, and keeps your roller from getting gunked up. So I'll be taking that to the other side of the house along with my bucket and paint. As painters call a cut bucket. Cutting is when you're just usually cutting in the perimeter of what you're going to paint. That's kind of where you want your straight lines and that sort of thing. Same for your cut bucket. You just have an old rag or something, just so your brush doesn't dry out. You're able to cover your bucket with a wet rag like this, and keeps your brush from getting all gunked up and that sort of thing. Keeps your paint fresh. Okay, I think I'll move to the other side of the house because it's chilly today. It's not quite 60 and it's very overcast. So I'll go get set up on the other side of the house with some tarps and some ladders and get going. Another handy thing, bucket hook for somewhere to put your paint bucket when you're on a ladder. Hey folks, a little update. I'm narrowing in on finishing this job here at this residential house. Been here almost 4 weeks. Today's Wednesday. I'll be wrapping it up here I think by Friday. Thought I'd do a walk around and show you what I've done so far. You can see the shop here. Pretty much out my front doorstep. Backside's done. Little fine tuning there where I'm doing a little last minute spackling. Today I will do the trim on these doors. But yesterday got up top there and did those doors and the soffits and fascia there. That's all done. Trim around the doors done here. This side of the shop is finished also, all the soffits and walls and the window except for the door trim. And again, a little bit of fine tuning on some gouges that I noticed at the last minute to sharpen up those looks. It's something people walk by quite a lot. Back of the house is finished. This was tricky because these are all rose bushes right here and very narrow space, but and had to pull these trellises, especially this one. I managed to not hurt that plant too much by dropping the trellis and leaning it forward. It's where I could paint behind it. But take a look at this particular rose bush. This one has massive thorns on it, and I have about a foot and a half in some places to do my work from, all down this wall. The south side of the shop's all finished. This one's looking sharp. There might be one hole I spackled there, but up top there's another dormer there and a window, and I haven't quite finished that one yet. So probably today or tomorrow morning I'll go after that. Probably not today, it'd be too hot since it's the south side, no shade there, and I don't think they're predicting any clouds. South side of the house is all finished. the window trim. This one's actually completely finished. Yesterday did the railing here and the fence posts and the deck, or fence posts and the gate. So we'll move around to the front of the house here. And this is also finished. Just to give you an idea how I finished my trim. Lots of straight lines. Soffit's nicely finished here. I think I'm done up here. There might be a little touch up where there's one nail hole fill here that I'll come by and touch it up. Last day I'll go around with each of these colors and touch up whatever's left. Sometimes I drop a little white paint on the wall and just touch it up. North side of the house is finished here. Little drip of paint there I'll hit the last minute. This has been a nice place to work. The people here that I work for are very nice and very flexible with me. This is all done here except for these two sets of French doors. So I am allotting one full day to do these two sets of doors here. It's a lot of masking. And I'll probably do a little bit of filming on that, of finishing up those doors. So there's almost the finished project there. And very happy with how it went. Right on schedule. 4-week job. So that's it for today. And I'll do a little more video on this house. Last minute wrap up, I think, when it's completely finished. So hope you're all doing well out there. Take care. Exterior primer, water-based this time.